Hello friends, and welcome back. Welcome back everyone. This month is all about big and small. We're going to talk about our great big God. For the next several weeks, we're going to hear stories about a man named Job. Got a question, friends. Would you rather be as small as an ant for a day or as big and tall as a giraffe for a day? Why did you choose the way you did? What's interesting, friends, is how big or small something is. It really depends on who's looking at it. You may have a tall uncle who is 6 foot tall. But friends, compared to a professional basketball player, he might seem small. Today, we're going to get a glimpse of the way our great big God looks at things, regardless of how big they are. Friends, for the next several weeks, we're going to hear stories about a man named Job. Job was blameless and had integrity. Who can tell me what blameless and integrity means? To be blameless means that a person hasn't done anything wrong. To have integrity means to be consistently doing the right thing, even when no one is watching you. The Bible uses those two words to describe Job. Let's open our Bibles, friends, and look at Job chapter 1, verse 1, and also Job chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Let's listen to our Bible story about Job's suffering and then our big idea for today. Thank you, friends.
Hello, friends. Blup, blup, blup. I'm Callie. Blup, blup. And this is my friend Joe the goldfish. Blup, blup. I wonder what Joe thinks I am when he sees me through the bowl. Maybe a giant octopus or a whale. What do you think?
Maybe a giant sea creature hungry for goldfish.
Ugh, yuck. I would never hurt you, Joe. Or eat you! Looking at Joe in his little bowl makes me feel really big. But other times, like when I look at the stars or see a firework explode across the sky, I can feel pretty small. Have you ever felt really big or really small? That gives me an idea.
Welcome to Biggest and Smallest with Callie.
Friends, the biggest fish in the ocean is the whale shark. It's 41 feet long and weighs 21 tons. That's like a bus loaded with kids.
That's really big.
And the smallest fish in the ocean is the Paedocypress. Oh, like the Play-Doh without the L, and then cypress, like the tree. The Paedocypress, which is less than a third of an inch long and weighs barely anything at all. That's smaller than the nail on your pinky finger.
Wow, that's really small.
That got me thinking. Even though the whale shark is really big, you know what's bigger? The ocean around the whale shark. This is blowing my mind right now. I'd better sit down while we hear a Bible story.
It's time for today's Bible story. Our story comes from the book of Job, and it's about a man named, you guessed it, Job. See, Job was a really good guy. I mean, a really good guy. Job was so good that when he offered his gifts to God, which were called sacrifices, he always remembered to offer some for others too, just in case they hadn't done it. That would be like if your mom or dad asked you to clean up your toys and asked your sister to put her clothes away. Then you cleaned up your toys and put your sister's clothes away too. Job was such a good guy that one day God pointed him out to Satan, not a good guy, as an example of just how awesome people can be. Satan didn't like that at all and decided to test Job to see how awesome he really was. Satan was sure Job only loved God because his life was perfect. What would Job do when really bad things started to happen? First, Job lost all his stuff and his beloved children. Then, Job got really bad sores on his body that were painful and itchy all the time. Job was miserable, but he remained a really good guy. He never said anything against God. Job's own wife told him he should yell at God for this, but he wouldn't do it. Even though Job didn't understand what was going on, he knew God did. He didn't get why all these awful things were happening, but he trusted God. Job knew that to believe in a very big God meant accepting the good and the bad things that come along in his life, which was so small compared to God. And like Job, no matter what we go through, we can find comfort in the fact that we are small, but God is big.
That must have been terrible and really scary for Job. I can only imagine he felt pretty alone and maybe pretty small like Joe, my goldfish. But maybe when Joe sees me, he isn't scared because he knows, even though I'm really big to him, that I love him and I want to take care of him. Maybe Job knew the same thing even though he was going through some pretty rough stuff. Today's big idea is we are small, but God is big. Can you say that with me?
We are small, but God is big.
That reminds me, time to feed Joe. See you next time, friends.
Great job. God was so happy Job did not give up even when things got challenging for him. Remember, friends, we talked about the word blameless. Job stayed blameless and kept his integrity no matter what anyone said. Job knew that he was just one small person who was created by a great big God. Job knew if there was a solution, only God would know and be able to make things right. Remember our big idea for today, friends? We are small, but God is big. No matter what comes our way, God is always bigger than any problem we may have or face. Even when times are hard, we can feel comfort because God is with us. Let's practice this month's memory verse together, which is found in Job 37, verse 5. God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. Let's sign it with our friends.
Job 37, verse 5. God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding.
Great job. Friends, let's bow our heads in prayer, please. Dear Father, thank you for all the good things you do for us and for never leaving us alone, even during the tough times. Father, thank you so much and help us to keep our trust and faith in you, no matter what comes our way. Although we are small, we know, Lord, that you are big. Amen. See you next week, friends.